Oh, that's weird. This video's not gone live. Well, what a treat for you. This video I recorded, 2-3 years ago now, something like that. And it's when Novritsch invited me over to their offices to have a bit of a stroll around, check out the place, and film some content while I was there. It's called the gun, where it's silent, so you can shoot something. In this video, I managed to look at every single Novritsch sniper rifle that had been released up until the point that I was there. And it's quite interesting to go back through and watch it because there's quite a few rifles that are missing from it. And I know that may sound a little counterintuitive, the fact that it's interesting that there's like rifles not included in it, but it also shows just how far the kind of Novritsch guys have come in that time. And I feel like you can kind of see it makes sense, the steps that they've done to release the rifles that they've done subsequently from that video. So watch it, enjoy, and there's a little bit of a sneaky bit at the end, so I recommend sticking around. Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, where today I have got every single Novritsch sniper rifle that has been released so far up until this point on the table, and I'm going to have a little look at each and every one of you and give you a bit of a lowdown on each of the rifles, which ones I specifically recommend, and yeah, just hopefully it's going to be a nice and informative time where you can just have a little look at a lot of cool guns. I know that's why I'm doing this video, because I was just like, you know what, I just want to have a look at as many guns as possible. So I found them all and I've just put them all out for us to enjoy. Kicking things off, let's have a little look at the SSG-24. Now, the SSG-24 is pretty much the first sniper rifle that came out that Novritsch did. This one, I mean, like all of them, they've all got different accessories on, different scopes on, like bipods, mounts, things like that. They've all got a little bit of their own different unique aspect to them. And this one is a bit special because this is the rifle that essentially started everything off. Now, this, I believe, is currently in the short barrel configuration. As you can see, compared to some of the other sniper rifles out there, if I kind of like line the triggers up, line the stocks up, the barrel is a little bit shorter, and you know what, it is a fair bit heavier than I was expecting it to be. So we've got this pressure style type of magazine there, very similar actually to the SSG-96 magazines, which I have, and I'm quite familiar with those because I do have an SSG-96 myself. But this is actually the first time I've managed to get hands-on with an SSG-24, and you know what, it feels quite nice, but it's just a bit heavy for me. I don't think I've got necessarily little arms. I think my arms are like okay, and my stamina is not the best that it could be, and I think this added cameras onto it as well is just so bloody heavy. But you know what, it's a different sensation, you know, as well. Like the SSG-10, which is the rifle that I use all the time, the grip is a lot narrower than this as well. So if you've got like kind of like big man bare hands, then this is probably going to be a stock that will fit you quite nicely. But if you've got like dainty hands like me, although hands aren't that dainty, they're just not really, you know, like big old fat hands, then you're probably going to enjoy this a fair bit more. Sadly, the SSG-24 isn't currently in production anymore. So if you do have one, it's probably going to become a bit of a collector's piece. Like, it is a cool rifle, it is a little bit of history, and it is, you know, being the first rifle that Novritsch got out on the market, it's always going to have like a little special place for the company, and I guess for people who get it as well, you know, like this is kind of what started off everything. If my history is correct, the SSG-10A1 was the next rifle that came out in the kind of lineage of Novritsch rifles. However, we're going to go straight to the SSG-96 here. The SSG-96 is very comfortable. It is based off the real life rifle, the L96, and you have got this cool kind of like different type of grip that you have out there. You've got your thumb hole, which you put that in, kind of reminiscent of the P90 as well, you could say. And it is comfortable. I will admit, I do like the feel of the SSG-96. It looks good, it feels good. The only thing for me again is, even though it's lighter than the SSG-24, it's still a little bit on the heavy side. You know, when I go out in the field, I've got scopes on there, I've got cameras on my guns, and everything kind of like adds up weight-wise. So the lighter that I can have my rifle, the more I can play, the longer I can play, and the more comfortable I can be when I'm playing as well. So lightness and weight is a huge factor for me, but it may not be that much of a huge factor for you. And if it's not, then I would say definitely focus on the aesthetics of the rifle over other things out there. Of course, compatibility and upgrades is possibly going to be something that you're interested in as well, and if that's the case, then the VSR, or the SSG-10 here, which is VSR based, is going to be the best platform for you. Out of all of the Airsoft sniper rifles, it just seems to be the VSR-10 is the best one out there for upgrades, for customization, just getting aftermarket parts so you can modify your rifle to be the best thing as possible. And this here is my absolute favorite across all the rifles here. This is my daily driver, my everyday sniper rifle. Not my exact one, my exact one's in England at the minute because I'm in Austria at the moment. I'm at the Novritsch HQ offices in Vienna, but this is the baby that I use. I've done a couple of little bits to it just to kind of like raise that level of performance up even more, but even as stock, this thing is a beast. So if you're kind of wanting to get into sniping and you don't want to have to faff about with, you know, getting lots of upgrades or getting a gun and then putting some stuff in it, the SSG-10 genuinely is the best out-of-box sniper rifle that I've ever used, ever. And that being said, this is the lightest one that they do, that, well, along with the SSG-10A3, but the stock is quite different to that. We're going to get to that eventually. And I don't know, my first bolt action sniper rifle was the JG Bar 10, so it's that VSR build. It is based on the Remington 700 or the R700. You may be familiar with that in COD 4. I used to do a lot of sniping back in the COD 4 days, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up this sniper rifle or run a VSR within Airsoft. And it's so comfortable, it's lightweight, the cheek well is just beautiful, the bolt pull on it is always so smooth, and it's just so consistently nice. And I've had such a blast with my SSG-10A1 that yeah, I've fallen in love with it. It is my favorite by far across all of the different sniper rifles that are available, and I cannot recommend these things enough. You have got the standard Novritsch scope on there, and you've also got the little leveling bubble on there as well, which is, you know, very handy if you're like taking a shot and you want to make sure that your rifle is level, getting the shot on your target and then closing your eye and just checking that you are level, making those tiny bits of adjustment and then taking the shot. That's actually quite handy. I don't run one of those on my rifle yet. I just kind of like eyeball it and play it from there. But you know what? Seeing it in person, it does seem like it's a good idea and potentially something worth getting. But you know what? If you're struggling with shots and your shots are always going left to right, then that could be something that could assist you. But yeah, the SSG-10, man, I bloody love it. I don't run mine with a bipod. It does look really good with the bipod on there. But for me, I just like the, you know, everything stripped off it. I only have on there what I need, you know. And a bipod, I don't ever really think I've seen people with a bipod on their rifle actually using it in the field. Like, I don't really see people super often like setting up on like a log or a wall or something like that with the bipod. In real world sniping, it kind of makes sense because snipers are literally like, you know, sometimes miles away from the target. Like, I think the longest confirmed kill is like 2 and a bit miles, something mad like that. So, you know, you can kind of have a bit more time to sit there with your rifle on a block, you know, having your scope like kind of going, taking your time. Even though you've got a more consistent, accurate range with your single shot, all AEGs need to do is look up a little bit, and there's a good chance they can lob BBs in at you. So you're not that safe, and you still need to be able to move quite quickly, which is why I think that you don't really see too many bipods actively being used in the field. But they are cool accessories, and they can be useful. So hey, maybe you use a bipod, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have a bipod on your sniper rifle? Do you use it a lot? How do you get on with it? Let me know. Then moving on from the SSG-10A1, we have got the SSG-10A2, and again, this is the very first time I've ever kind of like come into contact with an SSG-10A2. And again, the grip is quite wide and fat, very reminiscent of the SSG-24. And kind of like looking at the two, the aesthetics are very similar between the two. Of course, this bit is a lot fatter and wider when compared to the SSG-24, but you can take these off and reveal an M-LOK rail underneath them. So if you did want to mount some accessories onto there, maybe like a battery pack for your cameras if you are running cameras, or I don't know, just anything else that you wanted to put onto those side rails, you're able to do that. And that is quite a cool feature, to be fair. Like, these rubber bits are super comfortable when you put your hands on them. I can't get this thing to go back in. Go, bugger, get back in there, you little bugger. There we go. Yeah, let's have a little holster of it. I mean, that's quite nice, to be fair. I like the cheek rest. The fact that you can put the cheek rest so high, it does feel actually quite comfortable. What's the pull like? I mean, the pull is exactly the same, because all the internals on the SSG-10, A1, A2, and A3, it's all the same rifle. It's literally just the externals, which are a little bit different between the two rifles. You can see the barrel length is exactly the same. Literally everything, the trigger, the cylinder, the piston, everything between these two rifles and this one here is exactly the same. It's purely the externals which you're looking at, which are a bit different. But this one is heavier too than the A1 and the A3. And again, for me, weight is such a big key factor that sadly for me, the A2 is not my favorite, and I would have to pass on that. It is a very pretty gun though, and again, the performance of the SSG-10 series here is, I kind of would say it's almost like unrivaled for out-of-the-box performance, especially at the price that you can get the SSG-10A1 at. And finally, we have got the SSG-10A3. Now, I used to have one of these. I picked one up when they launched just so I can get a load of content done on it as quickly as possible, but the grip style on here, like the stock, I love the VSR because you literally just bring your like thumb over and then you can pull it super quickly, whereas with the SSG-10A3, because you've got the grip down here, the pistol grip style sniper rifle, you have to move your whole hand up in order to do that bolt pull. So yeah, for me personally, not too ideal, but the whole skeleton style of the stock and the fact that you can fold it in if you want to, just like so,
is pretty cool and is pretty unique as well. Like, there's not a huge amount of sniper rifles out there where you can fold the stock in like that. There is some variants of the L96, which you can get with a folding stock, and that is very cool, especially handy for transport. I'm not sure how much you would use that in the field, but definitely when transporting the sniper rifle, if you have like a small bag or not a lot of space, it can definitely make things easier. There's a lot of room to mount furniture as well. You've got your M-locks on the side, just like the SSG-10A2. You can, you know, mount whatever accessories that you want on there, really. And we have got the extra magazine holder pouch on here too, so it's very reminiscent of a real life guide. It kind of looks like it's a real magazine on there, but no, you'd actually keep an additional magazine there, and it's very handy for quick reload. So if you're getting through a lot of BBs when you're out there sniping on the field, then that's going to be a handy little add-on for you, because you can just reload so bloody quick with it. Genuinely, I do really like the skeletonness of the stock. I think this looks really cool. And you know what? This short dot scope is actually really sick. I've not used one of these before, but oh my days, that's a sick scope. I do like that. I meant to see if they've got any spare ones. I could just be sneaky and take them home with me. That is very cool though. Yeah, so SSG-10A3, if you like the pistol grip style sniper rifle, then I would say this would be your best option to go for, just because it is super light. And again, I can't stress how much of a big thing that is for me. It feels really nice, it looks really good, and yeah, again, performance is just absolutely sick. So there we go, having a little look at every single Novritsch sniper rifle that they have released so far. There has been quite a bloody few of them, and hopefully I would like to see a lot more as well in the future, and just kind of like seeing all the different upgrades, all the different accessories that are coming out for these rifles, because, you know, anything that can help me be a better sniper, I'll welcome with open arms, because I kind of need all the help that I can get. You know, I'm genuinely not actually that good at airsoft, so anything that I could get that's going to help me be better, run for longer, and, you know, just anything that can reduce some weight, I'm very happy with. So yeah, hopefully there's going to be lots more things like that coming out in the near future.
And boy, didn't they have some more rifles coming out in the near future. Cool. Past me was so insightful. See, told you it'd be interesting to check it out. Little did we know that there was a handful of awesome rifles coming out just around the corner. Now, that sneaky little interesting thing I told you about before, well, some of it is just quite clear visually, wouldn't you say? Yes, I had a bit of a move around and twiddled some lights, and now we have got our new filming setup. And I must admit, it's pretty darn swanky. Now, it's not quite in its final form yet, because as you can see, there is some junk on the floor behind me, and there's a 3D printer that I've been trying to sell for quite a while, and just nobody's buying it. But once that sells and I move a few other things around, this will be my new filming mecca. Granted, it's still the same room that I was filming in before, and the camera has only moved from here to here, but I really have fallen in love with this setup. So until then, prepare for some more videos, and I'll see you later.